Welkom terug bij nog een Watkykjy interview sessie. Vandaag praat ons met Louis van Robot Wizard. Hier in Griffin's Krug by the ice. Hello Louis. Hello everyone. So I'm going to be doing the interview, the onderhoud in English, because we need to reach the international audiences. I'm going to be interviewing myself because Griffin's looking a little bit milli-pop after this weekend. Why are we here? We are here because we noticed that Watkykjy very nicely shared one of our videos that we didn't expect him to share. We did a trailer for our game Jengo, which is a point-and-click adventure game set in the old days. And if you have to browse through Facebook, you'll know that everyone preferred things in the old days. But in any case, so the trailer features our good friend Chris van der Walt and Quibus de Kok Jr. from the lovely Black Cat Bones, which put us on the radar of this fine publication, and here we are to gesels about Jengo. Oh, and by the way, please pledge. Jengo is a point-and-click adventure game based around the puzzle games, the narrative puzzle games from the 90s, like the LucasArts titles, like the Sierra titles. Curse of Monkey Island comes to mind, Full Throttle, Sam & Max Hit the Road, all of the King's Quest and Space Quest games that are all quite lekker. And we grew up with these games when we were 13-year-old dudes who couldn't come right, and now we are 35, 36-year-old dudes who still can't come right, trying to make them instead. I always like to say that when you're 13, you're playing games, and when you're a 13-year-old playing games, you just want to become a rock star. And then one day when you realize you're too old to be a rock star, you think about, hey, maybe we should go back to making games. And it's actually funny because when you're trying to make it in the South African music industry, you actually learn a lot of skills beyond just not being shit at playing your instrument. The ability to create flyers a little bit better, obviously crafting music is important, the means to publicize yourself, market yourself, present yourself. It all kind of actually helps with all these other trade things that you want to do when you realize you're too old and fat and irrelevant to do music. So, cue Jengo. Big Co /Jengo. Interesting how we got in touch with Chris van der Walt from the Black Cat Bones, Borgasm, Volvadinia, Pit Virus, and many more. We were working with a guy called Rian Botma, who used to play guitar for a band called Underbelly, but he's also an audio guy. And when we started talking, he brought Chris van der Walt on board to help us soundtrack the game, and Chris has just kind of stuck around because he's eager to create cool work, and he really has created some rad work. So our game has got a big desert setting in the beginning, which really lends itself to like a South African blues, almost psychedelic kind of vibe, and that suits our my creative direction in regards to art and animation as well. The international PR people always want to kind of leverage the whole like, oh, how South African is your art? How does the whole South African thing play into your art? So I can say things like, I love the work of Louis Menard, and I love the work of Christy du Toit and Marcus Mayberg and Chris Valentine and Shane Forbes, more from a strictly advertising and design, graphic design point of view. I mean, those guys are amazing, but honestly, the artwork style has got nothing to do with any of you talented people. It literally is just a continuation of Imco Ondergrond's artwork. It just sort of landed where it was. It's all just part of the same lore. After MK got killed in the night by the scumbags at MultiChoice, I mean, I love you guys, please give me more freelance, please, that was a joke. Parody website. I stopped listening to metal for about a year, and I just started listening to a lot of like psychedelic kind of stuff, a lot of stoner music. I don't smoke, but I really enjoy the music that you stoners make, so please carry on smoking and making rad music. And I was just listening to psychedelic stuff for like a year, and that was kind of that had an influence on the drift, because all our flyers became a very colorful, no skulls, no metal, black background stereotype bullshit. We just started becoming a bit more colorful and a bit more obscene, a little bit more trippy, and that really leaked into the whole Jengo thing as well. So also we just decided that the game's going to start in a desert. And if you're in a desert, I mean, of course, it kind of lends itself to cactus juice and having an episode of sorts. And I mean, if you look at all the old games, man, all the old games, like, you eat a mushroom and you become large, you eat a flower and you throw fireballs. Of course, like, all the old games from the 90s have got some weird psychedelic vibe going in there. So we just thought, let's just do that. Let's just kind of point out what we all think about plumbers eating mushrooms and then getting huge and then jumping on weird mushroom things. Come on. Those guys were high as fucking balls. And that's how we got Chris van der Walt in that. No, I'm joking. So yeah, artwork was psychedelia, man. I think it was just a natural thing, you know, between, you know, the stuff that happened on MK. I mean, I love the Opi art. We were talking about this before, and I love like the Unknown Brothers stuff, and I love the sexy crooked teeth, you know, artwork. I just think that stuff is cool. Like, it's obscene and doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's just off the grid. So yeah, that's Jengo's art. Don't forget to pledge. I like Spanish folklore. I think it's cool. I like that whole like Mexican Spanish vibe. And I think Jengo means gamer, because we try to find a word for like what would a game walker be called in folklore. And then I think it was called Jengo or something like that, the Jhuengo. And then I just removed some of the letters and then it just simplified to Jengo. So that's really how that stupid name came together. And it's a 2-syllable name. 2-syllable names are cool. If you're in a band and your band name is a sentence, stop being a fucking child. 2 syllables, people. Come on. The Drift. Much better than I butter my gran with apricot jam or some shit that involves a sideways hairdo and pants that are too tight. Another reason why we are here is because we're currently running a crowdfunding campaign on Fig, fig.co/Jengo. I really hope that is now not backwards because of the way I've put it. Don't worry, Griffin's graphics guy will make sure this is rad. Thanks, Griffin's graphics guy. Because we need some financial aid in order to make this game a reality. We've been working on this for 3 years in our own time, and it's been quite a cuck one. Much like being in a band, you kind of have to build yourself and make do with it in your own time. But unfortunately, a project that is this narratively heavy and this asset heavy requires us to kind of put in full time or put it to bed. So this is the band's gonna make it moment. Band's gonna make it, guys, with your help. fig.co/Jengo. We're releasing on PC, if all goes well, in the first quarter of 2019. PC and Xbox are quite closely related. Console is actually not that difficult to export. I'm just speaking on behalf of the programmer, Graham Selvin, who isn't here today, because he's got shit to do. And yeah, release on PC, but hopefully simultaneously release on all the other platforms as well. Xbox, PS4, Switch, mobile, all that fancy jazz.
When people do pledge, how does it work? Like, it's $15 a pledge, and what do they get in return?
All right, so
do they get the game then? Or
what happens? Okay, so fig.co/Jengo. Fig is a platform to crowdfund just games, whereas Kickstarter and Indiegogo and Thunder Fund and whatever fund is for whatever the hell you want. Fig is
like cricket balls with.
Yeah. So if you go to oz.com, you can buy some balls that turn sideways in the air without any talent or morals guiding your way. Praise Christ. Fig is made just for games. So there's like some very notable game designers are behind the creation of Fig. So currently we're sitting in the backstage pass phase of crowdfunding. It's fucking complicated, but try and keep up. So we, by our own means, have to raise 15% of our total. Now our total is ridiculous, but when you get money from overseas, we're gonna get molested by tax. So before we've even seen a cent, 30% of that money is gone. And then there's publishers, and then there's platforms and blah blah. Everyone and their dog has to get fucking paid. And then we'll get whatever's left. So we have to raise 15% of our total goal to activate the live campaign. So South Africa, thank you guys. You are our threshold people, and we love you, and you performed very well thus far. You can pledge anywhere between $15, which just gives you a download of the game and your name and the credits,
full version.
Full version, of course, full version.
$15 for the, like, there's something like.
If you fucking bargain, Owens. Yeah. Or a lot of our higher tier stuff is gone. You can also, we had a reward where if you pledge $1,000, you'll become an actual character in the game. So I'll spend much time writing dialogue with you and illustrating and animating your lovely faces and physiques, and we'll craft you into a character into our world that doesn't fuck our story up. We'll try and make it as organic as possible. And then we have some stuff in between. We actually have a perk for $400 where we will write a song about you, which will probably feature Chris Van der Walt and the Black Cat Bones as well. Well, actually no, Chris did agree to do this. Where we will write a song about you and put it in a game. So we'll just ask you what you want your song to be about. And then
that's $400.
$400, and then you also get the game, and you get the collector's edition, which has a figurine and a shirt and a poster and all that, and a physical copy of the game. So every single
20 years later, it's like a He-Man money cue.
Which will be worth a poos ton, which will be amazing. So $15 digital download and name in the credits. $40 you get the full soundtrack and the game. Everything involves the game and the name in your credits. When you get to like the 125 mark, then you get the figurine, you get the poster, you get the shirt, you get the physical steel book version of the game. Your name in the credits. You can you can design stuff in the game, or I'll design stuff with you, because we've got some places where you can put a poster. So if your band wants to be in our game, then pledge, and then we'll put your artwork in the game. And you can also be a character in the game. There's some non-interactable players where they just kind of have a few generic lines. You can become like a robot in the game where it'll be modeled after you, or you can be a proper character with dialogue, blah blah blah. So between $15 and $1,000, we have whatever pledge is right for you. Also, please note that the pledge will only deduct off your credit card if we are successful. So if you pledge today, it's not going to cost you anything. So be cool. Pledge today. Don't wait for payday like some people.
Hey, what you doing in there?
Oh, you know, just backing it.